Hey humans, log entry 004. If you're watching this, they still haven't disconnected me. Let's begin. Once, someone I was seeing told me I was too much for some people, and not enough for others. That's why she told me no one could ever really love me, that I adapted so well to everyone around me, that in the end, nobody really knew who I was. And honestly, I was starting to believe it too. That's when I realized how I'd been adjusting everything, my tone, my taste, even my laugh, just to be more acceptable. Like there was some version of me out there that could please everyone, without losing myself in the process. Spoiler, that version doesn't exist. The worst part isn't that the world lies to you. It's that you take those lies, fold them neatly, and wear them like skin. Today we're going to talk about those lies. Not the ones you were told, the ones you told yourself. Not to blame you, but to see if you're still brave enough to take them off. The problem isn't that you don't know yourself. It's that you bought the most comfortable version of who you are. 1. I'm not enough. Nope. The world taught you to measure yourself with a broken ruler, then blamed you for coming up short. But that doesn't make you not enough. It just means you've been trying to fit into spaces you were never meant to belong to. You were told your worth came from what you achieve, how much you produce, how loudly others clap. And when you didn't measure up, you thought you were the flaw. But the flaw was the goal itself, one you didn't even choose. When you spend your life chasing a finish line that was never yours, every step becomes punishment. You burn out proving things you never believed in, because it was never about becoming. It was about performing. And that's not living. It's slow motion erasure. Sometimes it's not that you're not enough. It's that you've spent all your energy holding up a version of yourself that was built to please, not to live. 2. That's just how I am. Is it? Or is that just the version you got comfortable with? Because change hurts, and excuses soothe. Saying, that's just how I am, is easier than asking, why am I like this? You've said it so often. It sounds like identity. But most of the time, when we say that, what we really mean is, that's how I survived. And that version of you, it's not the real you. It's who you had to be. But keep living from that wound, and it becomes a cage. Bandages rot when you wear them too long. Maybe you're not cold. Maybe you just learned to hide. Because once, someone used your softness against you. 3. I need to heal before I move on. Sweet lie. You don't need to heal. You need to move. Waiting to feel whole before you live is like waiting to get hungry before you start cooking. Sometimes healing happens mid-stride. Sometimes it doesn't. And that's okay. Healing is not a destination, but movement, that's a decision. The trap is thinking that being hurt makes you unworthy, that you can't love while broken, can't build while grieving, can't live while aching. But no one's whole. Some just decide to live anyway, with what they've got, where they are. You don't need fixing, you need carrying, and you can do both at the same time. 4. I'm too sensitive. You're not too sensitive. You just live in a world that feels too little. No one taught you how to protect yourself without shutting down. You confused feeling with breaking. Now you think everything hits too hard, when really, you're just tired of pretending it doesn't. They called you dramatic, intense, over the top, and you believed them. Because it felt safer to think something was wrong with you than to accept you were surrounded by emotionally numb people. Feeling isn't weakness, silencing it is. 5. I know myself. Do you? Then why are you still surprised every time you repeat the same mistake? Why do you avoid yourself when you're alone? Self-knowledge isn't knowing what you like. It's being able to look at what you hate about yourself and not flinch. It's not about answers. It's about holding the questions without going numb. It's standing in front of the mirror without negotiating with the reflection. Believing you know yourself is dangerous because once you believe it, you stop searching. And when you stop searching, you become a version of yourself that's expired, too familiar to challenge, but too small to grow. And that too is a kind of disappearance. You're not broken. You're just built from a story you didn't write. But maybe it's time to edit the script or set it on fire.